Imagine being scared to report a crime that you have not done. This could lead to because that it could lead to questions about your immigration status. This is a reality for a lot of Wisconsin residents, and it would make and AB 24 would make it a lot worse. I'll persuade my audience that Wisconsin should not enforce AB 24. This is because that it threatens rights, community trust, as well as it would not improve public safety. So the main three arguments that supporters have is that it will improve public safety, it restores consistency and trust in the system, as well as formalizing what sheriffs are already doing. To know why AB 24 should not be enforced, we have to look at each of these that supporters and the people who have made this and look at why they are incorrect and the evidence behind them. So public safety is not improved. A lot of the supporters, as well as people who have made this policy, have said that it keeps dangerous criminals off the streets by having sheriffs comply with ICE for individual arrests on felony charges. Supporters say that's what supporters say. I'll show why ICE isn't always reliable, and it tends to lead to unlawful custody as well. And it also destroys trust between the community and law enforcement. ICE detainers are more of a request, have more requests rather than them being an actual warrant or a policy. Therefore, it would change the dynamic in that sense. Research done by Jacqueline Stevens in 2011 has documented that U.S. citizens have been mistakenly detained on an inaccurate database along with incomplete data. AB 24 applies to anybody that is charged of a crime, which tends to raise concerns for the process of doing so. Law enforcement agencies nationwide have reported that communities are less likely to report a crime if they have fear of deportation. And this is according to Gunn 2025, who is a politician. Instead of providing safety for the public, it actually increases the risks. Also, supporters will claim that fairness and consistency will increase because that the policy would make everybody follow it exactly the same. But in reality, AB 24 would not create this. According to the Wisconsin legislator in 2025, the bill requires that sheriffs have to request proof of lawful residency to anybody who is arrested with any felony charges. This increases any risk of racial profiling or profiling in general by appearance, race, assumptions, and accent. It would remove local decision making and ignore different needs from the community. Instead of trust, AB 24 damages the relationship between the residents and law enforcement. AB 24 simply reflects on sheriffs what all sheriffs already do, is what some may say, and that it is not harmless, but it is in fact harm. It does have harm behind it due to if the county does not comply, it loses 15% of their shared revenue from the state, according to Gunn 2025. Republican Bradley noted that it is not required of sheriffs to have any individual cases, in the sense of they will not look at anything but immigration status on something like this. So AB 24 isn't just harmless, but it forces compliance and punishes counties financially if they do not do so. As we look at these arguments all together, it is clear that AB 24 is unfair. At first glance, AB 24 might look good because of public safety, trust, the consistency, but in reality it is in fact the opposite, that it threatens constitutional rights, encouraging racial profiling, and infringes on local commitment. Therefore, it would be more harmful than good. Real safety should be more about trust rather than the fear. We should be choosing policies that respect rights and are fair and encourage cooperations. Rejecting AB 24 is the more sound choice.